So I have a question for you, Clint.
Sure.
When it comes to traveling, especially in a foreign country, what are some of your top tips for someone to be aware of and to help protect themselves from?
Yeah, good question. The big one that will save your life all the time and you'll never know it is doing your best to be the gray person. The gray person, I break down into four different kinds of awareness. And I'm going to try and keep it exciting, not so boring, but personal awareness, right?
Hmm.
This is look in the mirror before you walk out the door, right? And take a moment and Google, what can I wear here, right? Whatever that geographical location is. What should I not wear here, right? That right there off the bat, what you're wearing will save you more times than not. So, for the most part, when you're traveling abroad and to be gray, you want to stay away from all the expensive stuff. We've heard that, right? Don't wear the fancy watch and the big rings and the diamonds and this and that. And don't flaunt, none of that's going to get you anywhere. It's great for your ego, but that's about it. A lot of times when we get dressed, our ego dresses us, right? Because we don't want to look like the person we're sitting next to and, in a subway or, wherever or at work. So you got to put that in check a little bit. Neutral colors, no big logos, nothing that just stands out, right? I used to run this course for SEALs that kind of, taught this whole kind of be the great person type stuff. And they're the hardest to train because they already look intimidating to a certain degree. They're athletic. They have an aura about them. That's the most difficult part to kind of break is if they've been operational for a while, you can put penny loafers, a calculator watch, maybe even throw a pocket protector on them, and they still have an aura that is like that dude is going to kill me, right?
Right.
And so it has everything to do with projection and demeanor management, right? And that is ultimately what you need to do. That's personal awareness. Like control what you're wearing, make sure it does not clash with the environment you're in, make sure it blends into the environment. The best way to really kind of test yourself and see who the great people are is next time you're sitting at the airport, right? You're sitting at your gate, just watch people. There are people you're going to just naturally just notice, right?
Hmm.
And then there's going to be the people in the background that walk right by and you never saw them. That's the ones I want you to hook onto and go, what are they wearing and why did I not notice that person? So that's personal awareness. And then you have cultural awareness, right? Which is tied into it. You have to know the do's and don'ts. I love like Inglorious Bastards. Remember that movie, Brad
Oh
Pitt,
yeah.
right? And there was the difference between using the normal American way of number three with your fingers,
Right.
and then there's the European way where they use their thumb. And
Hmm.
that's what burned them, right? So something that simple can prevent you from being gray. So make sure you understand the cultural protocols and etiquette before you go so that you don't do something dumb and offend someone. And before you know it, once again, you're targeted, right? We're trying to prevent being targeted. And then you have third party awareness, right? Third party awareness is everyone around you has the ability to scrutinize you and judge you without ever getting to know you, right? We do it to each other all the time. And so ultimately, with personal awareness and cultural awareness, you're trying to control third party awareness, especially law enforcement, foreign intel, all of those that their second job is called bribery, right? And so you want to avoid all that altogether by, once again, paying attention to your personal awareness and your cultural awareness will hopefully reduce your third party awareness. And then, of course, the last one is situational awareness, right? That one gets used all the time, but you have to know what to look for. I tell people all the time, if we're trying to pay attention to everything, you will pay attention to nothing, right? Our brains cannot aggregate that much data. So you have to know what are the threats in this area. And there's an acronym, THREAT, threat, right? And you can scribble it down real quick before you travel. Put T, vertically put THREAT. And then the first T is going to be, okay, in Google, I'm going to put Beijing, and then I'm going to put the first T, technical threats. Now, how many articles do you think you're going to find of all the tech threats being used against you if you go to China? Lots, right? And so now you know
Yeah.
what to look for. H would be health threats, R would be raids, robbery, and ransom. E is environmental, right? That's all the big disasters, or tsunamis. If I'm going to Indonesia and I'm going to hang out on the beach for a couple of weeks, you probably should know, what's the tsunami level? Is it the season? All that kind of good stuff. Then you have A, that's agencies working against you. So that's foreign intel, organized crime, law enforcement, all those that are around you and you don't even see them coming, right? And then the final T is terrorism, right? Know what the terror threat is in that area before you go. So blend in, be the gray person and make sure you know the threats. That way it heightens your situational awareness on what to look for so that you're not just trying to look at everything. That's the 5-minute dump on that.